everyone, and welcome back to the Aether Hub. I'm Simon, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. So, Ravnica Allegiance is out, and we have a bunch more guilds to look at and examine. I'm going to spend more time breaking down certain aspects of the guilds rather than just lay everything out in a single video, because I want to get really detailed, like how many fins does a Simic biomancer have, kind of detailed. Maybe even go into their monstrous mating behaviors, keeping it safe for work, of course. But yeah, this is info is all coming straight from the art book for Ravnica, as well as all the art books. It's just amazing, and I cannot suggest it more if you're a Vorthos junkie like myself, or maybe you just like pretty pictures. You know, it has something for everyone. Anyway, today we are diving into the recent history and current state of the Simic Combine. The Simic are probably my favorite guild of all time. Since the birth of original Ravnica, I've always just had a thing for fish people. I loved The Shape of Water, for example. The only mainstream Ravnica film released, just so you guys know. And yeah, just like that, we're already off to a weird start. And that's good, because nothing is more weird than the Simic on Ravnica. Yet, even so, there exists a surprising political and ideological battle taking place within the guild this very day. And it looks to shape the very core of the beliefs of the Simic Combine. Just a quick reminder though, if you're enjoying the channel, please go ahead and support us on Patreon. Wizards of the Coast ain't giving us any no love, so if you can support the biggest Vorthos channel on YouTube, you'll also get a bunch of nice perks at the same time. Just check the link in the description below, and with that, let's begin. So, I've done videos on the Simic story path before. We have been to Ravnica several times, so yeah, the info is there on this guild, but I want to focus on current going-ons, what's up with the guild leadership, and how the Simic evolved over time. Simic puns, get ready for a lot of them. The guild was founded with the belief that the natural world and the ever-growing massive city of Ravnica should live in relative harmony. They were much like the Selesnya in that regard, this balancing act between the advancing civilization and the ever-eroding wilds. Unlike the Gruul clans, who just want to smash progress, the Simic sought to use magic, technology, etc. To evolve and adapt both the city and the wilds to breed that harmony. In essence, the Simic wanted to evolve new creatures who could survive the inner city, much like pigeons in New York, while also curbing the future growth of Ravnica to accommodate those new beings. Ideally, evolution and competition would make everything work out without anyone getting more powerful than the other, I guess. Who knows? That was the overall starting point for the Simic's purpose, but that has in recent years changed slightly. This is where we see the divergence of political and ideological sects within the Simic. This is the battle between two groups in the guild, the Utopians and the Adaptationists. While both believe that the natural and civilized world should live together in harmony, the groups take totally different routes in obtaining that goal. You'll recognize the Utopians from their speaker Zegana, who was previously the prime speaker for the entire Simic Combine. More on that later. Zegana is the old style of Simic thinking, that the world and creatures should evolve slowly over time to ensure a safe and realistic harmony exists. A utopia, hence the name. Clever guild the Simic is, I know. Zegana and her followers care deeply in this principle that they have, fearing drastic, quick change could result in disastrous imbalances of all things. Feeling safe in her sinkholes, where the actual Simic conduct their work, literally in sinkholes, Utopians don't bother much with outside guilds and cared little about political strife. Especially with a living guild pact, Jace Beleren, being named, many believed peace on Ravnica had returned and projects could continue without interruption. However, Not all subscribe to the Utopians' way of thinking, and that's where we got a lot of conflict. Enter the Adaptationists, led by a speaker named Vannifar. As you would probably guess, the Adaptationists, fun word to say, believe in quick change now to subvert critical issues happening in the guild today. They cannot afford time to think and debate and wait for slow change. They want change now to save the guild from threats happening right now. They don't have the luxury of time in their belief. The Simic are in danger at this very moment. Vannifar and her group were really actually like a fringe movement. No one really listened to them. They were just the opposing thought to the prime speaker Zegana. However, things would change and the Adaptationists would see themselves in seats of power. Before that though, Vannifar did what she could to prepare for what she saw was a growing conflict. While the Utopians believed everything was cool and chill, Vannifar felt the growing tensions between the guilds and how it could easily envelop all of Ravnica into a war the Simic would lose if they were not prepared right now. Vannifar continued her experiments, pushing the boundaries of what was legal in the Simic, and oftentimes even beyond that, morphing human and elf forms with traits of various creatures, creating an army of enhanced bio-weaponized warriors with the intelligence and might to be a force for the Simic. This was known as the Guardian Project, and although she was chastised by Prime Speaker Zegana for those practices, Vannifar continued with her experiments. The Adaptationists would be proven right. That war would come for them. When the Golgari attacked one of their sinkholes, like the place that they actually did their research stuff. Look, it's a sinkhole. I don't know how else to put it. Anyway, after the Golgari attacked, Zegana again called Vannifar to the speaker's chamber, but this time asking for her help and her armies in repelling the attack rather than lecturing her. Vannifar jumped at the opportunity and pushed it further, demanding an immediate vote on the Simic Prime Speakership, winning a majority of the votes because, well, she was right. Zegana stepped down, remaining the speaker of her own sinkhole and the leader of the Utopians, but allowing the new Prime Speaker Vannifar to rise to power. Since then, Vannifar has continued well past the norms of Simic experimentations, adapting her own body to protect her from threats and creating an army of sapient warriors equipped with gills, camouflage, wings, employing spies and military forces alike to help better place the Simic when the battle finally begins. Utopian speaker Zegana now has not quietly gone to the depths, however. She continues to safeguard the guild against Vannifar's rapid evolutions, protecting them and Ravnica as a whole from any of her failures and even some of her more successful projects. Zegana believes her ideals too extreme for the Simic, putting them on a path to throw all of Ravnica out of sync. But for now, all she can do is plan and prepare in that classic Utopian fashion. And there you have it, Vorthos Army, the current state of the Simic Combine as we await the arrival of Nicol Bolas. This is the information we have coming out of Ravnica Allegiance, the set featuring the latest adaptation of the Simic on Ravnica. Of course, we know that while Vannifar is probably not the more foresightiest elf ooze in the existence of the Simic, and her beliefs are probably dangerous, right now, they aren't exactly wrong. War is coming, Nicol Bolas is coming, and the Simic need to evolve quickly in order to meet this threat. Vannifar may not be an ally of Zegana, but she's also no pawn of Bolas, meaning she and the Simic will play a crucial role in the Dragon Planeswalker's potential downfall. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and believe you're the greatest experiment of the Simic, please give this video a like, share it on Reddit and with your friends, and of course, you don't want to miss the latest of our content, so please subscribe to our channel. You can also support our channel by joining the Vorthos army officially on Patreon, support the largest Vorthos channel on YouTube, and get great rewards at the same time. Just follow the link in the description below. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time here on the Aether Hub. See ya!